This is Akashvani. Time for a weekly program, Our Guest. I hand over the mic to the show host, Nitish Arora, for the same.
Hello and welcome to yet another edition of Our Guest. India is the land of fairs and festivals spread across the entire length and breadth of the nation. While the people native to a particular place celebrates their festival with extreme love, devotion and gaiety, yet the rest of the nation at times remain unaware of such a festival. Only on 20th June we saw the rich tradition of Rath Yatra of Lord Jagannath Ji at Bhubaneswar. And in days from now, Pandharpur in Maharashtra will witness a tradition that is almost 7 centuries old. Known as Pandharpur Ki Wadi, I have in my studios Miss Supriya Devasthali, Director in the Department of Promotions of Industries, but donning a new role today for us to illuminate us all about this age-old festival. Welcome to the studios of Akashvani. Tell us more about Pandharpur Ki Wadi.
Thank you for inviting me to share my experiences about Pandharpur Ki Wadi with all the audience here. So Pandharpur Ki Wadi is a long tradition in Maharashtra. About, as you've already said, it's about 700 to 800 years old tradition. The unique part of this is that it has a large participation. So people from across the state and now even people from across the country participate in this, and this is like a pilgrimage. Wari means you start from your home and you go up to the Pandharpur. It starts from two places basically. One is Alandi, which is near Pune, and the other one also near Pune, which is Dehu. So these are the two main locations from where the procession starts. Suppose I am staying in Kolhapur, then I will either go to Dehu or I will go to Alandi and then I will start walking, and I have to walk up to Pandharpur.
And the distance is?
The distance is about 250 kilometers.
250 kilometers of walk?
Yes. The path is decided, the places where these groups will stay, will eat their food, everything is decided.
What is the significance of these two places, that it starts only from these two places?
Yes, Pandharpur Ki Wadi is a tradition of a sect called as Warkari Sampradaya in Maharashtra. They are the devotees of Lord Vitthal. Every year they go to the temple of Pandharpur. Every year they take this pilgrimage, which is Wari. You go from your home to Pandharpur and you come back. That is called Wari. The significance of these is, from this Warkari sect, there are two important saints. One is Santa Gyaneshwar. His palki or his devotees will start from Alandi, and the other one is Dehu, which is Saint Tukaram. That procession starts from Dehu, and then they converge at a particular point of time, and then they all together go to Pandharpur.
Which means this has a lineage to the Bhakti movement in India.
Yes, it is like Bhakti movement. Basic principle of Bhakti movement is you are considering God as somebody who is close to your heart. The God is like your friend. A similar view is taken in Warkari Sampradaya also, that many of the Warkaris or the literature of this particular sect calls Lord Vitthal as Panduranga, and they also use the terminology called Sakha Panduranga. Sakha is friend. So Panduranga or Vitthal is their friend. So that is the basic principle of Bhakti movement, which you find in this also.
250 kilometers of trekking, and the tradition is as old as, you said, 800 years, somewhere around 800 years. So that takes a lot of time to reach from point A to point B. So there must be a lot of festivities in between. Are there any rituals, or are there some stopovers?
So there are a lot of rituals, and this entire procession, it lasts for about 3 weeks. This entire procession is further divided into smaller groups. Those groups are called as Dindi. Dindi means, say for example, I am in the profession of IT and I want some IT professionals to participate in this procession. Then that Dindi would be called as something like IT Dindi.
IT Dindi, wow.
Yeah, these are the new additions. But Dindi is a small group. Somebody who will be a leader of that group. One will not walk beyond that group, because it is important. The discipline is very important. The places where they will stay is decided. The places where they will eat their food is decided. And if on this entire route of, say, from Alandi to Pandharpur or from Dehu to Pandharpur, you will see that during this period, all arrangements are made by the local administration. But the Warkaris themselves are also so very disciplined that they will see to it that no law and order problem is created. That, I think, that is something which is very, very important, especially because there are lakhs of people who are participating in this procession. It can lead to some law and order problems, but that has not happened so far.
So and lots of volunteers, people volunteer.
There are volunteers also, but Warkaris themselves they have self-imposed discipline.
So do they have a management committee which decides the role of particular Warkaris or others, like
these Dindis are self-regulated, so they will have a group, and that they will have a group leader, and that leader will decide. The path is decided, and the places where you stay. These two important palanquins or palkis that they are called, one which leaves from Anandi and one which leaves from Dehu. So other dindis will also stay in those locations only, or maybe little before those locations.
Normally, when we talk about Rath Yatra, everybody wants to pull the Rath, the chariot.
Yeah.
And for this, the palanquin, are there people who are marked that these are the people who will be holding the palanquin? Or
there are duties. So some people will hold it for some time, then other people will hold it for some time. That is decided, and that discipline is followed properly.
I mean, how is that decided? If somebody really is interested and I want to hold the palanquin also, so he has to give his name in writing beforehand, or?
So over a period of time, some traditions have built. So say, for example, there are some dindis which are kind of prominent. So they are the ones who will be initially holding the palanquin. Then there are others who will be holding it. So there is that has to be.
So everybody
expressed.
gets a fair chance for it.
Yes.
Is there any fasting or special clothes that you have to wear? Because there are certain yatras in south wherein people are fasting and wearing only the black clothes and all. Is there anything like this linked to this tradition?
Here, generally, people wear white clothes, but that's not necessary. The Warkaris are basically, they are farmers. They come from rural as well as urban parts of Maharashtra. So they are farmers. They are leaving their land and cultivation behind and participating in this. Many of them will have hardly anything to carry with themselves. So it is not necessary that they follow specific dress code, but by and large, you will see people, especially men, wearing white clothes. And they will also be wearing a topi or a cap on their head, which is also white. So that is followed. Women are, they, as far as possible, they try to wear white clothes, but women can wear other
traditional
clothes.
Marathi sarees.
Traditional Maharashtrian sarees, you will see especially the ladies coming from rural areas, you will see them in a traditional 9-yard saree. They also hold a tulsi plant on their heads. You will see that head when they are walking.
For all 250 kilometers.
Yeah, some of them carry it for the entire distance. 2-3 important things about this. One is there is a lot of gender equality in it. You will see large number of women participating in this procession. It lasts for about 3 weeks. The fact that so many women are participating in a procession for 3 weeks also underlines the fact that they feel safe and they feel secured in this procession. That is something which is very important. Another thing is rural, urban, caste. None of these differentiation are seen in the procession. Everybody participates in this, which is the beauty of this.
For the urban folk to take this yatra for like 3 weeks, taking them off from their routine is amazing.
Yes, and that is the beauty of this. The procession attracts everybody towards itself.
So you are now in Delhi. Do you ever miss this, and how do you celebrate the whole thing here at Delhi?
We certainly miss that, because the atmosphere over there, and you see lakhs of people walking. They are reciting prayers. They are singing some songs. Warkari.
No, that calls for you to sing us something. What is sung during this?
There are multiple things that they will sing, but something which is very, very commonly sung, as I said, there are two important saints. One is Gyaneshwar and the other is Tukaram. So their names are recited very frequently when people are walking. That gives them that tempo also for walking, the enthusiasm.
A line
also.
or two.
It is sung like this: Gyaneshwar Mauli, Gyan Raja Mauli Tukaram, Gyaneshwar Mauli, Gyan Raja Mauli Tukaram. Then there is also something called as, we call it as Pundalika Varada Hari Vitthal. Pundalik was a disciple of Vitthal, and so he is also given a lot of respect in this. These
so
are
how many
common.
times have you taken this yatra?
So I walked only once, which is I walked from Anandi to Pandharpur, and because
when was that?
time that was last year.
Okay.
So because we have time constraints, I walked faster than the main procession, but it's an experience. Like I met a gentleman when I was walking who has done this wari 52 times. 52 times the gentleman has done a wari. He must be at least now say 70, 72. So practically every year in his life he has taken this wari, which is amazing.
It's for all 250 kilometers you walked?
Yes, I walked the entire distance.
Tell us more about
So
how was
there
the
are,
experience.
see, people like us who are working and who are not into this all the time. We sometimes, when we are walking, we start thinking, what am I doing? When it is too hot, when you're sweating, when your legs are aching, you start wondering, why are you doing this? You had a good job. You could sit in your air conditioned office, but you're walking on this barren road. But I think when you look at such people who have been undertaking this for, say, 50 years, 60 years, you see people, very poor people, they don't even have a bottle of water with them, just one or two sets of clothes, and then they're walking. When you look at them, you start wondering, what is this? What kind of devotion are these people having? And there's a tradition for hundreds of years. So you get linked, you get attached to that tradition, you become a part of that tradition. And when you realize that, you can take up that walk
And you
further.
must be having a lot of folk parties there showcasing their folk dances and music also on the way. Like,
Not so much of a folk dance, but we do have some dance forms. So there is something called as ringan, where ringan is basically circular movements. So you will see those circular movements. Plus, when these warkaris, when they walk in the procession, they have a musical instrument which is called as chipya, and then there is a particular body movement which you do, which is a dance form only, which is similar to the lejim of Maharashtra. So that all creates a lot of vibrance, lot of
there
enthusiasm.
must be a lot of community energy that will carry everybody.
Yes,
Because
lots of
250
positive
kilometers-
energy. En route, the procession, there are people waiting. They will offer water. They will offer eatables to people.
community kitchens also.
Yes, there are. And besides the normal procession, usual palki, there are people who start walking towards Pandharpur even before the palki or after the palki, or they
Okay.
catch that palki en route somewhere. So they are also the people who need a bit of an assistance.
So what are the dates this year?
So this year it has already started.
From
and,
those 2 points,
Yes,
starting
from
point.
Alandi and Dehu. This procession Palki will reach Pandharpur on 28th. 29th is Ashadhi Ekadashi. That is the day on which they would take bath in the river Chandrabhaga. The Pandharpur temple is located on the bank of this river. And then they take the darshan of Lord Vitthal.
So
Now,
lots of people dash to Pandharpur also on the final day.
yes, they would want to go to Pandharpur on that final day, and it
Not
will
necessarily walking. They can
be, yes, there are many people who may not walk. They will simply
So
travel.
I am very interested, and a lot of my listeners would also be interested.
Yes.
Are there any special arrangements done to reach to that place? I mean, people who want to go
So
now.
there will be special buses, etc. The closest railway station would be maybe Solapur. There are special trains also, and the special buses also, which are arranged for going
It
there.
would be very difficult right now
It
to
will be
arrange.
difficult, and but there is one interesting thing that I would quickly like to mention here. On the day of Ashadhi Ekadashi, the temple is, and the Pandharpur town is so crowded that there would be some people who will not get an opportunity to go inside the temple.
Oh.
But there are these Varkaris, they are so very devoted to Lord Pandurang and Lord Vitthal that they are happy looking at the temple also. You just look at the
From a
colors,
distance.
and then they feel that they have achieved it. So that is something which is very interesting.
Like Rath Yatras, we have now simultaneous Rath Yatras in many cities and many towns
Yes,
of India.
yes.
Do you have any such arrangements here at
Yeah.
Delhi if somebody wants to have a closer look at this
Yes,
festival?
so we have it in Delhi. It started since last year, and I would like to mention that it happens in many other parts of the country. Even it happens in USA, some parts of USA. So it is basically the people who know about the Wari undertake symbolic Wari. We call it as symbolic Wari. So this year it's in Delhi on 29th of June, which is Ashadhi Ekadashi. It generally starts from the Hanuman temple near Connaught Place
Okay.
at about 5:30, 6 o'clock, because it's summer
morning.
before it gets too hot and the traffic builds. Before that, it is a working day. Last year it was a Sunday, so it was easier. And you walk up to the Vitthal Mandir in RK Puram.
Okay.
A distance of about 8 to 10 kilometers. Last year we had about 200-300 people along with children, etc., who participated. People in white clothes, people having the jhanda with them, and they would be singing some songs. So it's quite a electrifying atmosphere.
So friends, if you are interested and you want to have a first-hand experience, mark the date. It's 29th of June, and the yatra starts from Hanuman temple at Connaught Place, and you have to walk a 10 kilometers distance. So be there early in the morning around 5 and be part of this whole thing and be part of the antiquity of the things. India is so deep, so rich. I'm really thrilled, and I would be there this time and want to be to Pandharpur, walk 250
Yes.
kilometers and see what transformation it brings to
One
life.
must experience this in a lifetime once.
Thank you so much for being our guest today.
Thank you. Thank you.
You were listening to the weekly program Our Guest that is broadcast every Monday at 9:15 a.m. Don't forget to tune in next week, same day, same time and same frequency for more on Our Guest. Have a nice day.